all things Randi at RandiRhodes.com.
Go for launch.
Speaking truth to power, the Randi Rhodes Show.
The deal that made this possible was a feat of diplomacy and friendship. Multiple countries helped get this done. They joined the difficult, complex negotiations at my request, and I personally thank them all again. And I've thanked them personally, and I'll thank them again. All told, Russia has released 16 prisoners. 8 Russians who are being held in the West will be sent home as well. For anyone who questions whether allies matter, they do. They matter. And today is a powerful example of why it's vital to have friends in this world.
Yep.
Friends you can trust, work with, and depend upon, especially on matters of great consequence and sensitivity like this. Our alliances make our people safer, and we began to see that again today.
You're damn right. I like these people in, MAGA land who, let's just go it alone. Donald Trump can fix it. He's a liar. He's a thief. He's a cheat. He's a felon, for God's sake. Why would anybody believe anything he has to say? I'll tell you this, Putin doesn't. She doesn't. Nobody, believes that Trump's word is reliable, but they do believe that Biden is a man that when he says something or he shakes hand, it's a done deal. You can take it to the bank. It's reliable. That's what the world operates on, believe it or not. It operates on trust. Guess what America operates on? That's right, trust. Trust in our institutions, trust in our courts, trust in each other, trust in the law, the actual fabric of our society, trust in the law. And this is what the GOP wants to destroy. They want to destroy trust. They want to destroy trust between us and our institutions, trust between us and the Supreme Court, trust between us and Congress, trust between us and the presidency, trust in the law. The law itself, it's all open for, the taking right now. And that's why this election is the election of our lifetime. But today we have to celebrate because this is just an amazing deal. And I do believe the arrival of the F-16s was sort of the kicker, you know what I mean? Sort of the period at the end of the sentence, if you will. Maybe it was an exclamation point at the end of a sentence, more than a period, okay? And Russia now knows that, the United States keeps its word and that the F-16s have arrived, that Ukraine now will be able to keep the skies safe, which is where we started with this 2 years ago, for God's sake. Do you remember? It was all about the skies. It was all about we need to protect the skies because they were being bombed. Children's hospitals, maternity hospitals, theaters were being bombed, apartment blocks were being bombed, shopping malls were being bombed. I mean, this was so disgusting, and Putin was getting away with murder, as they say. And Donald Trump was just letting it happen. He was just, they were fighting. Donald Trump likes to pretend that there was no fighting going on in the Donetsk region, that there was no fighting going on in the eastern portion of Ukraine. It was brutal. It was brutal. There were thousands and thousands, tens of thousands of soldiers were killed fighting each other, Russian and Ukrainian over there at that time. And nobody was doing anything. Nobody was nothing. So, of course, Putin tried to, wait it out. And then when Biden came in, he just sort of started testing even more. And, we didn't know. We didn't know, whether or not we could train people fast enough. We didn't know if NATO was interested in helping Ukraine because Ukraine was not a NATO country. We knew that if we let Ukraine into NATO, that we would have to defend Ukraine. And, people are much more careful with American lives, much more careful with, Swedish lives, much more careful with Norwegian lives, German lives, Polish lives than you might think. And so everybody had to sit back, wait, and, the world does what it does. But now all of a sudden, I think the exclamation point at the end of the sentence was, oh, my God, there's not a chance that the orange Jesus is going to be the president, number one. Number two, she's not playing. Number three, Germany is now on board with, doing whatever it has to do. And the F-16s arrived. I think that's a very persuasive argument that has been made. And it has been made. And so today we actually watched families gather around President Joe Biden rejoicing in the fact that their loved ones had arrived safely on American soil. Most likely they'd go to San Antonio because that's where people get the medical attention that they might need for physical ailments, but also for post-traumatic stress disorder, for the terrible conditions in which they've been held for. Whelan's been held for 6 freaking years. 6 years, right? Gershkowitz, it's been a year. There's another journalist that we don't talk much about. Her name's Aslu Kermasheva. She works for Radio Free Europe, which is an awesome outfit, okay? And she was taken as an opposition leader by Putin. And another one, Vladimir Kara-Murza, who you may have heard of, because Vladimir Kara-Murza's family, I believe, lives in Washington, D.C. So he's really a guy with a dual citizenship. He's a British citizen and a Russian citizen. And I believe he has a U.S. green card as well. So he can travel freely, or was able to travel freely, as an opposition leader against Vladimir Putin. And Putin took him right after he invaded Ukraine. That's when he took Kara-Murza, because he was very vocal about this act of aggression. And so right after Vladimir Putin, invaded Ukraine, he started to do things that you hadn't seen since the Soviet Union days, where he started taking opposition leaders into custody, right? And he started to put them in labor camps in the icy, hinterlands of Siberia, outer Vladivostok. People, truly, and work people to death, and all that crap. So those were the people that their families were around Joe Biden. It's very sweet because Alsu, who is, she's a woman, she's a female from Radio Free Europe. Her family was there, and Joe Biden realized somebody must have done their homework and told Joe Biden that Alsu has a 13-year-old daughter who would be present. And that tomorrow is her birthday. So Joe Biden. Now the psychos on Twitter are going to actually make it seem like he molested this girl, because that's what they do. Just to be frank about it, just to actually say what I see on that ridiculous Elon Musk owned platform where he mourns his dead children who are very much alive but didn't turn out the way he wanted them to. I mean, he's a sick man. But anyway, this 13-year-old girl, they sang happy birthday to her. And then as soon as she just broke into tears because she realized she was going to spend her birthday with her mother. Don't have time to listen to the live show? Want to hear more on your schedule? Go to RandiRhodes.com and buy a stinking podcast.